got a blown tyre and we'll need to change that ASAP.
It's time Sharon can't afford to lose. She must change a 55-kilo wheel in blistering 40-degree heat. If she can't get the job done quickly, she'll miss the last run of the day, costing her employer big money. For 9 months of the year, husband and wife truckers Danielle and Anthony Haig live on board their rig in one of the loneliest places on earth.
No communications with the outside world, really. We're living in our own bubble here.
In Australia's Northern Territory, the vast emptiness of the Barkly Tablelands is the couple's home away from home.
He got so excited.
And it's one big adventure for their 4-year-old son, Heath.
He loves this life. His dad's mini me.
But for a city girl like Danielle,
I hate bugs.
it's taking time to adjust to life on the road.
Look at it. Oh, yuck! Oh, seriously, can you kill it?
The family are driving in a 2-truck convoy with their mate, Hazy. Their mission, find water in one of the driest places on earth.
We drill holes and hunt for water.
The trucks are fitted with enormous industrial drills to pummel deep underground in search of subterranean water supplies.
You don't know what's underground until you start drilling. It's quite disappointing when you don't hit water. And
For many outback farmers, it's the only way to survive in this barren landscape.
Have a big wad of land here and they've got no water on it, so if they can get a bore in here, they can utilise their country a bit more and run a few more cattle.
But getting there is a challenge.
Hopefully we don't do any damage.
Ahead lie dirt tracks littered with jagged rocks.
Yeah, another flat tyre. Hopefully we don't get too many more.
And hundreds of kilometres of dust-choked, unsealed roads. Day 1, and the water drillers hit problems before they even hit the road.
Picked up a bloody manifold and exhaust in town there yesterday, but the exhaust is there, but the manifold's not there.
It's crucial they get on the road quickly. Anthony hits the phone, trying to track down the missing manifold.
No, it's not in the box, just the exhaust is in the box.
Without it, the camp generator is useless.
So he's just going to go and have a look out the back and see what's in there. And yeah, I suppose someone's going to have to go to town and pick it up. So there's another extra 400 Ks.
One missing part forces a 400-kilometre detour just to get to the starting line.
no, you don't need it.
Just the latest drama of life on the road for Danielle, Anthony and 4-year-old Heath.
Our home on wheels consists of 2 shipping containers converted into living quarters.
For 3/4 of the year, they literally live in a box on wheels.
Try and fit all the
Space is at a premium.
As you can see, I just hid the eggs under there so they don't break.
Danielle's talents don't stop on the home front.
Watch my truck, mate.
This rookie trucker now drives the big rigs. She's thrown away her L plates.
No worries, thanks mate. Cheers.
With
Baby.
time pressing, Anthony pulls the pin. The family will risk the journey without the spare part. Most drivers have to focus on the road and their truck. For mother truckers, there's added complications.
Oh, what's wrong? Did you jam your fingers? What'd you do? Talk to me. Oh, you've got to be more careful, darling.
The 2-truck, 7-trailer convoy enters the unforgiving landscape of Australia's top end. And second driver Hazy soon strikes trouble. Losing a tyre this early is a real blow.
Yeah, I don't think a plug's going to take that up. Yeah, she's pretty big, ain't she?
As well prepared as they are,
We'll just chuck this spare on there and we should be able to keep going.
they only have space for limited spares. In this vast landscape, the roads are so long they can narrow to the width of a single vehicle. For road trains travelling at 100 kilometres an hour, there are some unwritten rules. Rule 1. Never let the wheels drift off the bitumen.
We drop off to the side, like we'd just shower them in rocks and end up smashing their windscreen and stuff like that.
Rule 2. Caravans give way to road trains. Probably.
You wonder whether he's going to pull off or not.
Rule 3. Never play chicken with a ton of bad-tempered beef.
Yeah, so girl, she's just going to plod along here as slow as she can across the road. She's not in there in a hurry. Yeah, you're right now, mate.
The further north the drillers go, the rougher the tarmac becomes.
Some of the country we can go into, you know, like we've gone 40 k's and done 7 tyres. Like, you're a fair way away from a tyre shop to get another tyre, so hopefully not much more will go wrong.
And out of the blue, another setback.
I've just had a blowout. I'll just pull over here. You just wait there, mate. I'm just going to check the tyre, okay?
Why?
Because we had a blowout.
Why did it do that?
Oh, probably worn out or something, mate. Okay, you wait there. A bit of a blowout on the inside tyre there.
Yet another dead tyre.
We'll have to change it here. It's all wrapped around the axle there.
This is their third blowout, and with 300 kilometres still to go, they're seriously running out of spares. Anthony's 4-year-old son, Heath, is an apprentice Outback trucker.
He's more advanced than bloody town kids, you know. He's always out doing something every day, not locked inside, playing bloody computer games. Good job. Another flat tyre. Hopefully we don't get too many more. Oh, I hope we don't. Why?
For a family that's used to life on the road, it's already been a challenging journey.
Oh, my legs, sitting down, driving.
Daybreak brings a battle with the ever-present Outback dust.
I'm trying to get rid of all the red dust that got in here yesterday.
Outside, Dad discovers another serious problem for the family.
He thought it wasn't tight enough, so he thought he'd tighten it up with a big steel bar. And
In his enthusiasm to help out, young Heath has broken a grease cover on one of the wheels.
the bearings will get hot and they'll seize, and then 2 wheels will fall off. He likes to try and help make sure everything's right, so I suppose you can't blame him for that. Lucky you've got another one, eh, mate? You gonna help me put it on?
Heath's handiwork is fixed. The convoy is back on track. The Calvert Road signals the start of 210 kilometres of roughest gas dirt track. Rookie trucker Danielle is driving one of the trucks.
In the hot seat now, yes.
Anthony is ahead in the ute, spotting trouble.
Oh, righto, yeah. Anthony just worries all the time, and he reckons I go too fast.
Hidden on the track are deep potholes filled with a superfine dust called bull dust.
Yeah, Danielle, you got a few bull dust patches here. How do you get it? So you take it steady through.
Yeah, righto, boss.
Hard to spot and treacherous at speed, bull dust can choke the truck and blind the driver.
Now we've got to go through a big bull dust patch. Oh well, can only wing it.
The bull dust patches on Calvert Road are massive.
Whoa, it's freaking me out.
Driving blind, in danger of rolling her truck. She survives a highly dangerous bull dust patch.
That's over with.
Danielle's battled the bull dust, But the dirt road still tests the novice trucker.
If you're going to be like this for the next 100 k's, it's going to be slow torture.
A massive hill crest brings a sharp descent that spells trouble.
She's pretty steep. She's really steep.
A sharp drop.
Sakes.
She can't stop. Using her brakes could be disastrous.
You can't put your foot on the brake too much because you'll burn your brakes. Oh, listen to her. She's burning the shit out of her. Oh, my hands are sweaty. Did it. Still freaked me out though. My palms are all sweaty.
Finally, Danielle and the team make it to the first water drilling site at Culvert Hill Station.
Yeah, we're going to put a bore down here for him. He's got no water in this area. See what we can get for him.
After 6 months without rain, there are no guarantees that the drillers will strike water. Station owner Will McMillan is desperate for Anthony and Danielle to be successful. His cattle are parched. An 8-inch drill head bores through hard rock in search of liquid gold. It's a long, dusty process, punishing for man and machine. The drill has gone as deep as it can go, and the signs are not good. The dry hole spews out dust and dirt. The drillers are devastated.
Drilled 126 metres here, no water.
One of them things, bit of hit and miss every now and then.
At the end of the day, like, no one likes a dry hole, and we don't either. We're a lot more happy if we can get water for them.
Deep in the arid Queensland outback, the temperature's heading for 40 degrees. The last rain was months ago. For the last 9 months, it's been home to tipper driver Sharon Collins.
I've got a road train of 3 side tipper trailers, and we're hauling gold from a mine out the back of Forsyth into the mill at Georgetown itself. I try and get 4 loads in a day. It depends if you do tyres or you have an airline blow, or if all goes well, you can get your 4 loads in.
4 grueling deliveries a day, 6 days a week for 9 months. Sharon's journey has already covered nearly 80,000 kilometres, like driving twice around the world. And in these conditions, Sharon's truck takes a beating.
Flat tyres out here are a regular occurrence. It comes with the territory that we're in. It's just rugged terrain.
Flat tyres mean lost time, and in this game, the bottom line is simple. No delivery, no pay.
The truck gets paid per tonne, how much I cart during the day. If you have a few issues during the day, you'll generally only get 3 loads in. I live in my truck. Towards the end of the year, you do get over it. Yes, I'm over it.
After 9 months of hard yakka, for Sharon, the end is in sight. In 2 days' time, she goes home.
It is really special to go home, open up the doors and the windows, and it's so fresh and sweet smelling. It's 10 past 11 in the morning, and the heat would be in the mid-30s already, and it's still going to rise a whole heap.
It's not a job for the faint-hearted, but for Sharon, it's a dream come true.
Truck driving's always been a passion to me. The bigger the more bling, the cooler they are, the better they sound. I've always looked at these big trucks and just had a dream, and I just love it.
Sharon's heading for the Big Reef gold mine. Here, the one objective is to get gold ore out of the ground and to the processing mill as fast as possible. Every minute and every load is valuable.
The carting of the ore is quite important, so they come and load me straight away.
Each 70-tonne load contains gold worth more than $25,000. Over the last 9 months, Sharon's hauled a massive $20 million worth.
The loader is actually loading my lead trailer, which is the trailer straight behind the cab of the truck.
At 50 metres, Sharon's road train is more than 10 times the length of an average car. The trailers can be unstable and difficult to keep on the dirt roads.
These trailers here, they pull like a jellyfish at a disco. They're not easy to pull, they do slop around a little bit.
Out here, life on the road is tough, even for the best of them. Made even tougher when women represent less than 2% of Aussie truckers.
For myself to drive a truck with all the big boys, I feel very privileged. Women have come a long way in the bush in the last 20 years, and it's just incredible what we're allowed to do and what we can achieve now. It's a tough lifestyle, but we do it because we love it.
After 44 kilometres, Sharon's made it to the mine's processing mill.
Righto, mate, we'll come on and tip off and all be good.
Offloading a tipper should be simple, but Sharon's trailers have been designed to carry grain, not heavy rock. One of the biggest risks is getting the tipper doors jammed in the rock pile.
My doors are longer doors than normal. They drop down really low, and if you can't sit away from your pile enough, you will dry bog yourself.
There's another problem. As tons of gold ore pours out, rocks roll back under the truck's wheels. Tyres and suspension take a hammering. Sharon's worried about her tyres. In this heat, the last thing she needs is a flat.
Something like that won't break up and you'll just end up blowing a whole heap of tyres. Not good. I don't want to change tyres, it's too hot. We get too close to the piles, we get rocks between the jewels, and as soon as we get onto the bitumen they'll blow both tyres, so. And I've got one left to get me hammer and bash it out. You gotta smash and smash. My little friend. That's the culprit and I don't want them.
Sharon Collins is on her next run. Once again, she hits the narrow dirt tracks, a constant hazard with oncoming traffic.
Train outbound, call point 3.
Sharon must check in constantly to find out if there's traffic heading towards her.
It gets a little bit tricky through this area because it's all only single lane, and if you do meet somebody, there's not a great deal of room to pull off in places.
To stop her fully loaded road train, she'll need almost a kilometre of track.
Get a bit of a run up for this section here. You got to have the right gears and be ready for another car coming, or yeah, we've got a blind hill at the top of it, so you never know what's coming over the top.
As Sharon reaches a blind hill, she's completely reliant on the radio to let her know what's on the other side.
We've got to be very careful. It can get a little bit exciting. I've met a mob of cattle this morning on this hill.
As she makes it safely over the top, she heads downhill, picking up speed. Then, without warning...
And here we've got a water truck coming up.
Sharon must push the 100-tonne truck as close to the edge of the track as she can.
Not a great deal of room, but we're doing our best. I didn't hear the water truck call, but he may be on a different channel.
While she survived one hazard, a few kilometres later, there's another.
Yeah, we've got a blown tyre and we'll need to change that ASAP.
It's time Sharon can't afford to lose. She must change a 55 kilo wheel in blistering 40-degree heat. If she can't get the job done quickly, she'll miss the last run of the day, costing her employer big money.
Before you take the wheel nuts right off, you got to give the side of the chock, that's a chock there, you got to give that a hit so that they release, they jam on there, and that's what holds your tyres on. If you don't do that, they'll come off like bullets and do some damage to knees, shins.
At $600 a tyre, the cost of working in the Outback can rack up.
On an average out here, it'll be 2 to 3 a week tyre changes. Any more than that, you sort of don't make money on a job. Oh, watch all the steel sticking out of. Try and move my valve stem so it's in the middle so it's accessible. This is where I start getting wild because it's the end of the day and nothing seems to work. It's all part of it. The tough times, the good times. In any job you're going to get hard areas where you just don't want to do it, or yeah, you're out here for weeks and months on end and you've got to do it all yourself. So what do you do?
While she can get back on the road, Sharon's now almost out of daylight.
Oh, it's hot. Righto. Another load, eh?
She'll have to race the setting sun to make her last run of the day.
I'm a fairly tough sort of person, but I will break down. At the end of the day, I'll shed a few tears. I don't like the boys seeing that because it just makes me look weak, but we all have times where we just can't handle anymore. And I was a little bit like that a couple of weeks ago. I just blew 6 tyres and I couldn't deal with it anymore. I left the truck on the side of the road and I just went, need a coffee. I spent an hour out of the truck and that was it. Went back to the truck, felt a lot better, kept going.
Finally, Sharon can call it a day. She's been up since 5:30 a.m, but before she can relax, each of her 72 wheels will need to be checked.
Just giving my tyres a quick tap to see if anything's flat, then we have a flat tyre. Setting off the rim, I can see it straight away because it's an outside one. Don't know what's happened there, but it's flat, we've got to change it. That's 2 flat tyres today.
At last, the day is over, and Sharon can finally cook dinner in the truck's kitchen, the mudguard.
Living the dream, it's every trucker's dream. Oh, I don't know if it is a dream anymore. After a while, it's very tedious and you struggle a little bit.
For Sharon, it's the start of a special day. She's scheduled to take a break after a long 9 months trucking. But before she can relax, there's one last obstacle.
We've been asked by the mine to do a safety audit on the truck to make sure it's compliant with all the safety inspections for the mine.
With strict safety rules, every truck must pass an inspection or be taken off the road.
A little bit nervous about the safety inspection actually.
And Sharon has a problem. Her windscreen is cracked. It's a minor fault, but it could fail the truck.
These guys here will be pretty strict. If they do stand me down, that's my job done. I've got to go and get it fixed, and I don't get paid if I don't pull the horse.
As she arrives, the inspector is waiting.
How you going?
Okay, what's going on today? I don't know if you know. Safety check, purely safety, okay?
Yep.
Your flashing light, I've seen it working.
Yep.
I'm going to pass that, okay?
I've got one on the tail as well that's working.
Okay.
So, yep. Left and right, I can do left and right.
Repairs in this remote outback post are rarely quick. If she fails, she and the company risk losing thousands of dollars.
Okay, now all your tyres.
Yeah, I did 2 yesterday, so they changed out good. And I got 3 spares left on the rack.
Hydraulic cylinders and hoses, conditions of hydraulic.
I blew a hydraulic hose the other week. It's been changed out, but there's still a little bit of mess around, but we've got no water or anything to clean, so it wasn't too bad actually.
No.
So far, so good. But it's time for Sharon's big worry. The cracked windscreen.
Windscreens, you good? No.
Yeah, I've got a crack through them both, but they're not in visual.
Thousands of dollars in lost earnings is riding on the decision of the inspector.
It's all good. Okay, I'm happy.
Cool. Thanks, Don.
Have a safe trip.
No worries. Thanks very much. Whew, that was all good. We passed with flying colours. I'm happy with that because, yeah, it means I can keep trucking.
With the drama over, Sharon can look forward to that well-earned break. But suddenly, there's a change of plans.
Unfortunately, I thought I was going to be able to go home this weekend, but that's turned to custard.
The company needs her to stay. After months of drought, the forecast says the rainy season could be about to break. It's all hands on deck to get every last load in before the weather arrives.
So I'm not really happy about it because I'm tired and I just want to go home.
She's been baked, battered and bruised for the last 9 months. After 800 trips and nearly 80,000 kilometres, Sharon has to once again get back on the road. Driving cattle trucks with 3 double-decker trailers carrying over 200 swaying animals is regarded as one of the toughest trucking jobs there is. And on bad roads, it's twice as tough. It's the start of a 3,000-kilometre run for Dougal. For the next 3 days, he'll barely leave the truck's cabin.
He'll work big hours, anywhere from 16 to 18 a day.
It's loaded, so it's all good.
It may have dried up, but the weather is still a concern.
So we've just got the grader here as well. In case we get stuck, it's going to pull us through a couple of bog holes.
The wet season here can last 5 or more months. And once it starts, you could be stuck. The rush is on to get the trucks off the station and to better roads.
Up here, it can take you hours even to get nowhere.
A live load makes it even more difficult.
You're looking at nearly 56 tonne just in animals moving around. And that's the thing, like they're standing on 4 legs, so they're moving you around as well. Going through creeks, you can feel them shunning, but when you move the steering wheel like that, you can feel it like a big snake and you can feel it. That's why when it's a little bit wet, we've got to try and stay right up and not let a trailer drop off the side because it'll slip down and then it could roll over pretty easy. We've got away with another load, so it's all good. So it's taken us an hour and a half to do 43k, but at least we're out, that's a good thing. I wouldn't worry if it took me 5 hours.
The convoy is still not off the dirt when the day's good run comes to an abrupt end.
Got help, makes it a bit quicker.
Changing a tyre on a road train in the blistering outback heat is never fun.
You got the other one, mate? Yeah. Cheers, mate.
But changing one on a cattle truck with over 200 animals moving overhead is a whole new ball game.
I got the job in the shade. Got a calm set. You going, Bull?
Making the tyre change even trickier is the wet ground.
No, the road keeps giving away. It's wet.
It's a tough, sweaty job.
You going?
And it has to be done fast.
Come on, quick, mate, I'm sinking. You going, mate? Right. First trip, one tyre. Maybe it gets better.
Finally, the convoy makes it onto the bitumen, but getting onto the good road brings its own hazards.
Look at this, how stupid this is.
In the middle of nowhere, 2 touring cyclists.
If we get too close, we can blow them off the bike or suck them back into your trailers. Another road train's coming around this corner. We're in the shit. Oh, they annoy you, you know, like... They stay in the lane, and then if we went around the corner as a truck there, we would have an accident. I don't mind them being on the road, but it's dangerous, mate. We've got like 130 tonne pushing us down a hill. They don't understand. Like, who would be riding a push bike down here in this heat? Who would ride a push bike anyway down here? Like, we invented an engine.
Dougal-Brett's animals have to be given their second regulatory break off the truck. It'll be a rest for the passengers, who'll stay in a holding yard near the highway.
All done. I think I can knock off now. But no, they've all travelled down safely. They're all getting a drink. Everyone walked off and everyone's right, so it's good. Put them in a nice big yard down the back, so they settle down.
The next day arrives and Dougal's in the dead heart of central Queensland. He still has another 12 hours of driving ahead of him.
It does get tough now because it's getting hot, and this is when you can have maintenance failure and driver failure.
On the open road, his fuel consumption improves, but at times he can be averaging only a litre a kilometre.
But it all depends how heavy you are. And if you're on a hill or flat, that's why you try and stop on top of hills so you can roll off and get back to your maximum speed as quick as possible. Pulling into a parking bay, just check the cattle.
Yeah, just pull up every couple of hours and just check the animals. They've got plenty of room. So far, everything's going all right.
but it can go to quick. It's bloody hot. Like, it's really hot. Like down, I couldn't even undo that fuel tank thing without using a glove.
Fueling up at roadhouses is expensive, and in the middle of the outback, there are few around. Instead, Dougal carries 2 spare tanks under the front trailers. Each carry 850 litres of diesel. From there, it's pumped into the running tanks.
The high 40s, where we are on this hot red ridge, probably 46, 47.
It's the middle of the day, and the temperature is soaring.
Yeah, let's see how hot. We should go and cook this egg. No, I'll keep the gas. It's a bit slow. It's a beautiful time at night to drive because it's cool. All your running gear, like your diffs, your gearboxes and your bearings and everything start dropping in temperature because it's cooler at night. And your animals, it's cooler.
He's driven halfway across Australia, over 2,000 kilometres. So far, it's been a regulation run. Until he spots a car stopped on the side of the highway.
Find out what's going on.
It's in the middle of nowhere. If Dougal doesn't help, it could be a long wait before the next vehicle comes along.
We've just got a couple of tourists here that pulled us up and they've done a fan belt, so we just got to strap off another bloke driving back to Mount Isa. Now you got to put your hazards on. Make sure you blokes know you got hazards work. Yep. What is it, an Sigma or something?
Wrong switch. Yeah, bring your torch in. Pass your torch.
Where's your blinkers, mate? Where'd you buy this bit of from? Hey? Hey? You got ripped, eh? Yeah. There's one, yeah, so there should be another one. There you go. Righto. You blokes right then?
Yep, so we just sit it?
Yeah, you steer it. They'll drop you off, mate, at the first servo or something in town, you know?
Okay.
Righto, you're right, mate. Good way. We've just got the first car going that way, which is a four-wheel drive, luckily, up at Gero, so they're just going to tell them to into Winton and hopefully carton a beer for them, for helping them out in the middle of nowhere. That's bush currency, carton a beer. So they're lucky because it would have been lonely night out here on the downs. We can tow it with this, but you don't feel them on the back and you end up, don't know if they're there or not there. In the truck industry, there's a culture of if someone's down, you help them, mate and mate, sort of. But anyone out here, you help. I mean, look where they are.
Dougal Brett has driven most of the night and is now on the last leg of his 3,000-kilometre trek from the Northern Territory.
Yeah, we've just gone through Blackall, just had a sleep. We've got 70 k's to go out to the station, 60 k of dirt and 10 of bitumen. Get out there and we'll unload and the job's done.
He's been waiting for this moment all year, when he can deliver his cattle to a fattening lot and get some much-needed cash in return.
There's a lot of pride in taking cattle from here, 3,000 kilometres, and getting them to destination and they're not bruised, they'll walk off.
But on these rough roads, there's one last hurdle.
This mongrel corner up here. About 2 kilometres left to go, and then we're at our final destination. It looked like we weren't going to pull it off a couple of weeks ago. We really had to do it, or we were in it's just a massive relief.
Russell's latest mission, trucking a rickety mobile building to a remote station. It's 250 kilometres of intense, unforgiving country.
We've got a few tricks up our sleeve and we're going to be pulling all of them out to get the second-hand building to where it's got to go without any carnage.
Top of the list, readying the flimsy structure for the road ahead. Cruel experience has taught him to avoid any shortcuts.
Seemed to take a bit longer than most people getting these huts ready to transport, but I know the road that we're going to have to go on, and if I don't do all the preparations now, this thing won't be in the same condition when it gets there.
Prep's done, and Russell sets himself a challenge.
We're going to put this cup on there. We're going to close the door now, and when we get to the other side of Hart's Bluff, we'll open the door and see if it's still there.
This 14-metre-long hut is ready for liftoff.
We just need to force this end over this way a little bit. Yep, beautiful.
One load on, 2 more to go.
We're going to pick up now a 20-foot container and a smaller 10-foot container.
For a trucker with over 30 years' experience, loading 2 empty containers should be simple. But backing into the yard is proving tricky. With little room to manoeuvre, Russell's gaining a growing audience. It wasn't pretty, but he's finally ready to load.
Might have nearly been quicker to unhook the dolly, but oh, maybe I needed the practice. We'll go back and we'll just knock together our 3-trailer road train. I'll adjust a few chains and swap a few things around.
Hooked up, secured, and ready to go.
We'll head on out of town.
53 metres of road train on 62 tyres.
Well, we're just leaving Alice Springs now. Got the McDonnell Ranges off to our left.
Beyond the ranges lies the desert. Russell's driving into it alone and in the height of summer. Outside, it's 40 degrees plus, and Russell's old truck has no air conditioner. In these blistering temperatures, tyres are a constant worry.
Well, just popped the drive tyre.
To make matters worse, the flat tyres rolled off the rim.
It's gone flat. I can't see any visible, like tear marks in the side or any giant holes. See if I can inflate it, and then once it's pumped up, determine where or why there's leaking out of it. I'd like to be able to fix it rather than change it because it's a bit warm out here.
Jacking up his road train and wrestling with 50 kilos of hot rubber would be a recipe for heat stroke. To get the tyre back onto its rim with minimal effort, Russell has an unconventional approach. He may look like an angry pyromaniac, but Russell's got science behind him. The air consumed by the fire should suck the tyre onto the rim. But it's not working.
Tyre's that hot, it's just evaporating this.
Finally, success.
Bit of persistence. That was about the last try, and then it was coming off.
Now to find the puncture.
We can hear it now quite clearly, the hole in the back here. So, something in there. I'll dig that out first and see what I can see. Couldn't read about it. It's an old plug.
It's an old repair job that's come apart.
Tyre's nearly at the end of its life anyway, so we just do something to get it through.
He hopes a new plug will fix it.
Look at that, like brand new. Should be all right. We'll get going.
Russell and his patch tyre are about to hit the hard part of this journey.
It's only about 58 k's from here to Arts Bluff, and about another 30 odd k's after that we've got to go, but this 58 k's could kill this demountable.
The rocky road ahead will push his worn-out tyres and his worn-out load to breaking point.
I'm going to have to take them down to about 40 odd, and that should give this hut a smooth ride in.
Less air in the tyres will cushion the blows from the road.
Rightio, all good to go.
Until now, Russell's coffee cup has hung in there, but the road ahead is notorious for breaking more than just china.
Tyre tracks means it's gone bull dusty, it's chopped up.
Holes in the road surface fill with fine dust.
These bull dust holes are little surprises. You don't know how deep they are, and that's hitting them too fast. It's the sort of thing that's going to cause damage to the hut.
His load, outside and in, is relying on him being at the top of his game.
I'm still pretty confident that that cup we positioned back there for a joke is still all right.
Now, a dry creek bed to negotiate.
A few overhanging trees here. We're just going to have to pick the right line. We've got to sort of take it out wide, make sure that the demountable building doesn't collect one of the tree branches overhead.
He's through without a scratch.
Let's still be fingers crossed about that coffee cup. It's just coming on sunset. We're just sort of coming into Arts Bluff now.
Russell has survived the road. He's nearing his drop-off point. All that's left now is to find a place to park up and enjoy the best hours of the desert.
Just about to get up to where we're going to camp. There's a nice breeze, and I'm looking forward to a nice view in the morning.
It's not the view he had in mind.
Must have leaked.
But that's not the half of it. Further back, more carnage from the road.
Yeah, all we've had here is a wheel bearing, like collapse. Won't be able to travel with this thing.
The nearest workshop is over 200 kilometres away. Russell will need all his bush mechanic skills to drive away from this one.
I'll give it a quick squirt of air and then we might be all right.
While he hopes the flat is a minor repair, the wheel bearing is not. To fix this problem, he needs to first unload the hut. Out here, the only way to do that is with his loader. It's a tricky operation. He has to make sure he gets the forks in exactly the right spot. Balancing a 6-ton, 14-metre hut on 2 forks is an extremely risky manoeuvre. A sudden jerk or a gust of wind and this flimsy building could hit the dirt.
Perfect. Can't have a look inside and see how it travelled.
The moment of truth for his China Cup.
Oh well, the cup's still there. No tricks. Would have only had to go like that and it would have come off.
With the weight safely off his trailer, Russell can turn to the wheel bearing problem. The hub is completely destroyed. Without any spare parts, he needs to get creative. Working on his own in over 40-degree heat, Russell's just about had it.
I'm a bit out of condition, it's a bit hot.
His rig has 62 wheels. Russell thinks he can get by with one less. A makeshift sling will keep the bare hub from dragging along the ground.
Had a fair bit of tyre drama coming out here. All become a bit evident this morning when we had a look around. Anyway, it's all done now. I might sit on out of here, get a bit of breeze going through me.
Next stop, Alice Springs. He's got a long list of repairs and a little less rubber on the road. But for this Outback trucker, it's another mission completed.